Welcome to Applied Bionomics. Today we're going to talk about tomatoes, and we've just got a couple of patio tomatoes here to demonstrate and show you what we're looking for pest control. There's two main pests with tomatoes that are very common. Whitefly, greenhouse whitefly is probably the most common one, and spider mites, two-spotted spider mites. Two-spotted spider mites can be a real problem in tomato because of the hair on some varieties, which impairs the movement of the predatory mites. And also being part of the deadly nightshade family, there is some level of toxin that seems to shock a lot of the predatory mites that are commercially available. So the main technique with mite management in tomatoes is actually to offer these mites a more attractive plant. The bean plant has been used for about 20 years now, and when you put a bean plant beside a tomato plant that is infested, the spider mites will actually leave the tomato plant and move on to the bean plant. This has saved the growers of the big commercial greenhouses millions of dollars over the last 10 years, and it'll continue to save them a lot of money. So it's a very easy way to manage it, and it overcomes the basic problem of the fact that you really can't find a good predatory mite to work on tomatoes anyway. Whitefly is an insidious pest. And in the old days, when people used to grow tomatoes much warmer in the greenhouses, it was quite easy to establish the parasitic wasp Encarsia formosa and have it cycle in the crop and basically overcome the whitefly. As we started developing more aggressive pruning techniques in commercial greenhouses, we started stripping leaves that were basically the leaves that were going to be carrying the Encarsia parasite. So on this one you can see the structure of the plant, and when we're looking for parasites we look down near the bottom. This is where the whitefly adults are being released. These are leaves that are around a month old, and you can also see that there's some black parasitized scale on this leaf. Ideally, when you're looking in your own garden and in your own crop, you want to see a level of about 80% parasitism. That tells you that you're completely over top of the whitefly problem and that you will not be experiencing much more in the future. When you're hanging the cards, because the Encarsia only parasitize the third instar scale, you want to hang the cards up where the third instar scale is, and the third instar scale is when it's just visible to the naked eye. So you move up a bit, you want to hang the cards here. Hanging a card up near the top is a waste of time. The Encarsia have to leave there and move down to here. So you might as well make the job easier for them and focus them here. The other thing to consider is with fresh Encarsia, which is what we package and sell, we have a much more effective temperature range. And one of the really big challenges with tomatoes that are grown now, and especially in the winter time, is that the average temperature is now low. It's lower, below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Some of the houses are even below 65 degrees Fahrenheit on average. When you go below 70 Fahrenheit, which is about 18.7 Celsius, the stored Encarsia can no longer keep up with greenhouse whitefly. So in the wintertime we have these huge deficit problems, which is also a problem in crops like gerbera. With fresh Encarsia, we can go down to 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees and still get effective parasitism. So when you're growing tomatoes, you need to use fresh Encarsia. They cannot be refrigerated even just for a period of 2 hours. So what we're doing, the same thing as we're scouting here, we're making sure that we're getting effective whitefly parasitism rates. If you're not happy with the rate of parasitism, increase the number of Encarsia until you get to around 80%. And it's a relatively easy crop to manage as a preventative. If you let these plants become totally covered in whitefly, it becomes very difficult because each whitefly lays around 300 eggs during its lifespan. In the summertime, that can only be a couple of weeks for the adult. In the fall and the spring, the adults can live for up to 3 months. So whitefly tends to look like it explodes in September, when in actual fact it's just the attrition rate has declined and the whitefly are living longer but not necessarily laying any more eggs. So we tend to get people overreacting in the fall to a problem that really is more visual than actually a fact.